What's up, guys? I thought I would do another live broadcast. Since I haven't been uploading video content lately, I thought I would just take some Q&A questions for you guys on how to start the keto diet, what you need to consider. This is an old subject. I can't talk. Hey, what's up? But it's a question I continue to get nonstop. How do you start the dang thing? Hey, everyone. Hi, Elena. What's up? What's up, Escobar? What's up, guys? Step infrared. I know, right? Where's my infrared light? Let's turn it on. Let's get the infrared going. Whew. Right? Step infrared. What's up? Yay, you caught me live, Elizabeth. Yes. What's up, Pedro? Het? You mean hey? No, I'm kidding. Het stuff. I am Fitness 360. Hi, Laura. Hello, everyone. So I thought I would create this lovely atmosphere. I know, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding on the het stuff. What's up, Joseph and Bruce? James is like, yo, get the likes up. We got 47 people in the house, and we're going to talk about how to start keto. Yes. What's up? What's up, Pamela? Hi, guys. How do people the same age react to how I look? It's awkward. It's like awkward. If it's clients, because I do Skype consultations, they've already seen me, so they'll say, I want the business. They'll be like, I want the business. They'll say something like that. But for people who I meet like on the street or at the gym, it's really awkward. They get kind of weird when they're trying to, when they realize that we're around the same age. It's kind of weird. I don't know. What's up, guys? Okay, I'm going to turn this off because I'm actually going to do a red light therapy later, which I love this machine. Yeah, people, the aging thing is really, really bizarre. People get kind of funky. Do you know what I mean? Often I feel that people, when they feel like you have everything, they get sort of really awkward. And I do not have everything, but people make these assumptions based on physical appearance. Thank you, Jordan. Okay, so I thought I would cover how you actually start the ketogenic diet. What's up, Richard? I thought I would talk about how you started, what you have to consider now. A lot of you guys who've already started, you're going to be like, yeah, I already know this stuff. But I'm going to, thank you, Dina. I appreciate it. Your profile picture looks great as well. So I thought I would go over how you start things, what you need to consider, and then I'm going to take questions as I normally do. Yes, Christine, another live broadcast. I've been doing a lot more lately because the videos, like sometimes just uploading videos, I kind of get bored. I'm like, I've done this, 3,000 times or like 2,500 times. Let's go live and let's interact. Escobar is like, you guys, there's 71 people in the chat. So obviously if you like the live broadcast, people are able to find me a lot easier. So what's up, Chase? Okay, guys, here we go. You're eating so healthy every day. Awesome, Jordan. That's awesome. All right, Jeffrey, first time. Very cool. So let's get into this stuff. Your stomach went down super fast. Okay, that's cool. Let's hope that you didn't lose any organs or anything. That was actually just body fat. Okay, here we go, guys. So what you want to do when you start keto, so I'm going to go right into this. You're welcome, Jordan. I'm going to go right into how this whole keto thing works. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, Chase, you can catch a little bit of the live broadcast. You must be up in Eastern Standard Time or in Europe, but I assume Eastern Standard Time. So thank you, Lori. Okay, guys, I know that when people watch the replay, they're like, girl, get to it. So I'm going to get on to it and talk about ketogenesis. So obviously the people who follow me know that I've been doing this for 10 years. Very strict at 20 net carbs. and I lightly saute my cruciferous vegetables and greens as to really count the net fiber towards the total carbohydrate. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. So, with that said, let's clear up. You're finding it a challenge to get all the fat in. I'll talk about stuff like that. If you're nauseated, Lulu, you probably have a thyroid problem. I mean, sorry, gallbladder. Hello, gallbladder. All right, here we go. When you start keto, there's a couple things that you might want to do. There's two ways to do it. You can either graduate. No, Jordan, smoothies are not good. You need to chew your food. There is no smoothie trees. Last time I checked. A lot of you guys need to learn how to actually just eat. We're always on the go and looking for quick ways to get food in. So yeah, you made it live. Whoop 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 whoop. Okay, guys. Before I forget, go to my Instagram. I'm doing a lot of stories on the body, like because it's 14 seconds. Right, I can nail that every day. Today I talked about white tongue. I talk about whites of the eyes. The whites of the eyes, the veins in the eyes, the capillaries around your nose. I talked about like wrinkles on your forehead, around your mouth, darkness under the eyes, and what that means. So go to my Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic, because there I do updates every single day. Yes, smoothies are no good. Sorry. Okay. Lily, you're grateful. Okay, cool. Yes. Do I announce? No, because on Instagram. On Instagram? You guys, I'm trying. All right, I'm not a millennial. You guys know I'm 50, turning 51 soon. So, like, I do all the social media, but I get burnt like a crisp to do this stuff. That's the reason why I'm not announcing, because you guys know I'm doing all this keto stuff. I'm consulting. I'm answering a bazillion questions on all the social media. I'm running a keto course page. I'm writing the book. I'm doing all this stuff. So sometimes, no, coffee's not okay. I'm going to get to these questions, but let me just start with how you do keto, how you start it. So there's two ways that you can do it. You can either graduate slowly, and you got your lauracid grape. You graduate slowly into it, and you can do a 2-week graduation, or you can do I will talk about the egg white versus the egg yellow, but Victoria, you're going to have to recycle that question after I talk about the title of this live broadcast. So you can either do it over 2 weeks, or you can do it over 5 weeks. So the more metabolically damaged you are, you want to take it to 5 weeks. And if you feel like you're going to have a little bit of a keto flu, you just do it in 2 weeks. Now with that said, and if you have hypoglycemia prior, pretty bad, you want to do it in 5 weeks. So here we go. Oh, good. You love that. Mike loves the Q&A format. Now, also, you can do it overnight. So if you do it overnight, you have to have your macros on point. So you have to have different kinds of meats immediately. You want to do like chicken thighs, wings, or drums. You can do grass-fed beef. You could do steak. You could do like ribeye. I know it's expensive, but you want to do grass-fed beef. So beef is the main protein, fatty protein that must be from grass-fed cows, because cows just cannot eat corn. They are sick on top of sick on top of sick. Now, other animals cannot become as sick. Their flesh does not, and the inflammation is not as bad if you guys don't have money and you're eating like corn-fed chickens. No corn-fed anything. GMO corn is good, but cow, no way. So if you can't afford red meat, then stick to like the chicken, salmon, sardines is another good one. You could do lamb near the rib. A lot of Australians have a hard time at certain seasons to get the grass-fed beef, so lamb could be good. Obviously pork, you want to try to get pastured pork as best you can. Eggs, if you don't have an egg white allergy. Duck eggs, goose eggs, if you have an allergy, and some people are so bad. Yes, pork belly is what's up. Pamela, you're my trainer. Okay, so here we go. Yes, sardines are absolutely great. So you don't want to do any white fish. You don't want to do any mackerel. You don't want to do any tilapia. You just want fatty everything. That's a big problem people make when they're doing keto, they are eating things like tuna because it's cheap and it's easy. They're doing a lot of eggs. People focus on the whites, and I'm like, and chicken breast. And what I'm trying to explain to people is that the keto body really adapts better on animal fats. How I know this is because I have coached thousands of people. So I'm over 2,000 people now. And when you talk, like every day, this morning, every day, I am talking to people about their either metabolic derangement, inflexibility, damage, or if they've done keto or not. And I've coached people for months and years on end, and you cannot adapt on coconut oil. Now, MCTs might present ketones in the blood for a short time, but ultimately, it's the animal fat that always spikes people's ketones into range if they don't have any metabolic inflexibility. So what you want to do is get all your fatty meats, right? Well, not all of them, but you want to at least be able to consider, like, here's my shopping list. So your shopping list is going to be the fatty meats. Like I said, pork, fat, the belly of the pig, fatty bacon. Make sure it's uncured with no sugar on the package. You want to make sure that you're getting any type of fatty meat and stay away from the lean meats. It's pretty simple. Now, your vegetables should be in the cruciferous family. Now, unfortunately, cruciferous vegetables, some of them have goitrogens in it, and this can block the iodine from getting into the thyroid, and vitamin D and zinc for some people who are super malabsorptive and stressed out. So another really important thing that you don't hear on the internet is, I'll talk about hypoglycemia in a second. So a lot of people don't consider the fact that they might have a pre-existing thyroid problem. Now, that's also something you don't see on all these keto videos. What if you have a pre-existing thyroid problem that you're aware of or not aware of? And so a lot of you guys have some type of either high thyroid stimulating hormone, which is TSH, or they have low T3. This is very common, and the reason why people develop thyroid typically, now there are other reasons and other autoimmunity markers on why you would develop thyroid disorder, but one of the main reasons is that people never rest. So people are intermittent fasting, and then they're doing HIIT training, and they don't realize they have a pre-existing adrenal insufficiency or thyroid problem. So when people do keto, their hair starts falling out, or they become constipated, and they don't realize that they've triggered an already wavering thyroid problem, and it's come full blown out. So one of the things that you want to consider is how exhausted you are when you wake up in the morning, how many times you wake up in the middle of the night, how long it takes you to fall asleep, how long it takes you to fall asleep after you wake up in the middle of the night. Do you fall asleep in 5 seconds when you go to bed, or does it take you 20 minutes or longer? So you're vegan and you're considering keto, I would consider it. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to you only drink water. So I'm going to go more into the things you want to consider, which is about drinking. So what you want to drink on keto really is water. Now, the reason why I say water instead of like lemon water, apple cider vinegar with water is because I want to just make sure you just clean out your system. A lot of you guys have histamine intolerance and actually can't take lemon. Not all of you, some. And some actually have a bad reaction to apple cider vinegar. So just start with water. And you want to get at least 2 liters a day, because if you start going up to a gallon, right, which is almost 4 liters, I believe is 3 point something, then I will. So Victoria, you gotta recycle. Just wait until I'm done, guys. Just wait until I'm done with this little rant. Really, I can turn the volume down so you can hear. Okay. So with that said, you want to start with animal fats. You want to start with butter. If you can get lard, pastured lard. There's a company called uswellnessmeats.com, and also there's fatworks.com. If you have a hard time getting these pastured lard, if you have a histamine intolerance, now a lot of you guys can't do dairy, so then lard would be the next option. If you can't do lard, then you're going to have to try beef tallow. Now, if you can't do beef tallow, you're going to have to try ghee or duck fat, goose fat. And if you're really sensitive to everything, you're going to have to rotate like every freaking 2-3 days max. So these are the things that you want to consider when you first do a ketogenic protocol. Now, You want to stay away from nuts. Just stay away from them. Get rid of the nuts. Get rid of the coffee. Drink water. Like, you guys, it's not quantum physics here, right? We're not talking about string theory. You have to clean up everything so you don't develop the thyroid problem. You don't develop the gut dysbiosis. You don't develop reactive hypoglycemia or the physiological insulin resistance or the early morning dawns effect because you didn't realize you had metabolic rigidity, like you're not flexible. And then when you do keto, yeah, no coffee. You heard my melody. That's right. Boop. Would you give coffee to a baby? No. So you do not give coffee to an adult. But I'll go into that. So you guys know that I'm the, no coffee, no cheese, no nuts. Get rid of it. Be careful for kale. It's a super goitrogenic plant. Look for signs of histamine intolerance. So the signs for histamine intolerance, now listen up, y'all, because a lot of you have this. And you develop the histamine intolerance either because your mom didn't breastfeed you, or you weren't vaginally born, or you just been eating crap all the time. All right. No intermittent fasting. We'll talk about that too. So with that said, if you've got gut biome problems, and a lot of you guys don't know if you do or don't, these are things you want to consider when you first do keto. Because if your gut is having an issue, you're going to notice like candida die-off. You're going to notice like really bad rashes. You're going to start smelling. It's a hot mess. People can't sleep. So before you start, consider these things. You want to have your macros, all fatty meats, cruciferous. The only non-cruciferous vegetable that I say is okay is mushrooms if you don't have a fungal overgrowth, because mushrooms are fungus, or green beans. So otherwise, just hold. You heard diet pop. Okay, hold on. So with that said, I gotta not look at the comments. Sometimes I have to block the comments so I can't see them, so I can get through how you start to do the ketogenic diet. Because I really want to explain how you do this, because people ask me this question and I'm like, why don't I just go live and explain it? If you guys have questions, you can see that I have answers and I'm not just antiquated reading something from a book. With that said, you want to make sure that you have, you should probably not do salads in the very beginning, just for a couple weeks, just to make sure that you're not getting any anti-nutrients. For any of you guys who are sensitive, a lot of you guys have leaky gut. So that's holes, and I've said this a million times, you have holes in the gut wall of your small intestine. So they're called junctions. And the walls of your small intestine are permeable. That means things can flow through it into the bloodstream. Well, those junctions open up and become big holes. And we don't want big holes in the gut wall, because you develop like gastritis and Crohn's and IBS and bloating and all this weirdness and burping, and you can't absorb your vitamins, and you guys are vitamin D deficient, and it is a hot mess. So I'm going to explain how you know you have leaky gut. I'm going to explain it. So I'm going to break this real down, because these are the things you want to consider. Like, people are like, just tell me like what kind of food I need to eat. Just tell me like the fat. No, you guys need to know what your like, I had a consultation this morning with a woman who's like, and I really made it, because she would get really, for me, I felt she was a bit restless when I was trying to explain, like, I was asking her questions like, okay, how long does it take you to fall asleep? When you're in a deep sleep, do you ever reach deep sleep? Like, how many times do you dream? And she was like, can you just tell me what I need to do? And I'm like, no, because if I don't find out where your metabolic, and I found out she had really bad leaky gut, straight up leaky gut, and her sleep was really bad. And I had to explain to her what leaky gut was so she could fix it. And she just wanted to know the macros. I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that. If you don't understand at least the science in layman terms, you won't stay on keto. You have to understand what's going on with your body as you do this. So with that said, leaky gut, a lot of you guys have it. Now, it can come from antibiotics. A lot of you guys have antibiotics. I don't care if you took one pill 20 years ago, it still messes up your gut. Fluoride in the water messes up your gut biome. Glyphosate pesticides on your non-organic foods when you're out at restaurants poke holes in the gut wall. There's many ways that you can poke holes in the gut wall. And once you have holes in the gut wall, the bacteria, everything below here is your colon, right? And all that bacteria gets super whacked out. And when the bacteria gets whacked out, so does your immune system. So when you eat food, you literally just start reacting like in an inflammation way or an inflammatory way. So inflammation can be, like I said, it can manifest in millions of ways. Like you see people, I see guys like shave their head and their scalp is red, right? Or broken capillaries around the nose, or you're kind of puffy, like the fingers are really puffy, the legs are swollen, women with their lymphatic system. You might notice it being bloated. You might notice it with skin issues. You might notice it with being tired or joints hurting, or you don't recover post-workout. If you're chronically sore when you work out, it doesn't matter if you work out or heavy or light. You shouldn't be nonstop sore. You could be malabsorptive. So when you have holes in the gut wall, you don't tend to absorb your nutrients very well. So you eat food and it's got all like the B complex in it, B12, it's got zinc, magnesium, chromium, iron, all this kind of stuff, vitamin D, E, A, and K, maybe vitamin C, some antioxidants, and they go right through your body into your urine because of soda, caffeine, alcohol, the water we drink, like the pesticides, everything. And once you start developing those holes in it, it typically can come from wheat. So I always say to people, even if you don't do keto, don't ever eat wheat again. Cheese is another one. This casein pokes holes in the gut wall, and you guys wouldn't even equate to feeling tired or moody to, or the PMSy or men who are moody to the friggin' cheese. But it's really, 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 holes can come from the alcohol as well. So it's really, 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 people don't understand that the protein part of the cow's milk is a growth factor for a baby calf to grow into a 2,000-pound bull. So these growth factors our human bodies don't like. So we're the only species that sit and feed off of other animals' milk for the offspring. And so with the balance of nature, there are good properties in raw milk from A1 cows, but then there's also the growth factor that seems to be poking holes in people's gut walls. So you can get things like violent behavior, mood disorder, autism, bipolarism, anxiety, and you would never equate it to these foods, ever. Because you've been eating them your whole life, right? We're like, I remember in the 70s, there was this commercial, it was like, milk, yeah. Any time is like the right time for milk. Oh yeah, a glass of milk on a summer day. And then here's this like beautiful commercial, and then people would do the milk ads, and you'd see the white on the, and this is like such toxicity. Plus, when it's from hormone injected cows that are A2, A1 cows, my bad, that are sick eating corn, people are getting sick, cancer, so many freaking problems. No, goat cheese. Goat cheese has a lot less casein, but unfortunately, a lot of goats are fed corn, GMO corn. So you guys just stay away from these addictions. Now, with that said, I'm gonna say this right now. Where are my people? So we got 129 people in the chat, and we only have 70 likes. But you guys, the likes create more viewability for these live broadcasts, which makes me do more of them. Liz is like, I liked it. So for the people who haven't liked it, because there's 127 people in the chat, if you don't mind liking this broadcast, this means I will do more broadcasts. So like up the stream. Can we get, last time I was like, I'm going to do one arm push-ups if we could get 200 likes. That's what I said last time. So if you look at my last video, I haven't watched The Magic Pill yet. I've heard good and bad things. When I have the time to sit down and watch it, I will. You mean it's called your glucometer? Is that what you meant, Victoria? Okay, Victoria, just hold on. Girl likes to type on that. Hold on, honey. Yay, we got 200 likes. Thank you, you guys. That's what I'm talking about. All right. And she's like, come on, people, like this video. All right. So you want to be careful for the casein. So you really want to cut out the cheese. The reason why I even had cheese on my website before. And the problem is that when I was trying to keto coach people in the first year, I was like, yo, go ham on the cheese. People were doing like cream cheese, like pancakes, and they were going nuts on the cheese. I didn't even talk about if it was from certain types of cows, the health of the cow. I was just go for it, and nobody was adapting. No, their numbers were awful. It created an inflammatory response when people went ham on the nut butters, because that's what I did in the first year. People went crazy on these because they want to, everything has to be very palatable and very like dopamine response in the brain to food, which is what got you guys into trouble anyway. So you really have to make sure that you're getting animal fats. Now you can use MCT oil or coconut oil, but not to keto adapt. You can use it as sort of like a pre-workout, or you can use the lauric acid in coconut oil to get into for its antimicrobial properties, which is amazing. Which is a lot of you guys are starting to use the lauricidin because it's concentrated lauric acid. But with that said, some people who are like going through hypoglycemia, a good thing would to do like a fatty tea. Now you guys know I just drink water on the stream, so I'm not going to answer any questions right now, so you guys don't even bother. I'm almost done though with this how to start the keto diet. So unfortunately in the beginning you have to fat load. You can't just intermittent fast. Your ketones will be in the toilet. How do I know? Because I have tested it. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people, it doesn't matter if it's nuts or it's cheese or it's caffeine, people are not adapting. They're not. They're not. They're not. They're not. And another thing that I found out is when people were lifting too heavy or doing endurance training or trying to get ready for a fitness competition and they're just starting keto, their ketones are crap. I mean, absolute junk. Because again, just because you look fit on the outside doesn't, just because you have muscles, let's change that, because you can see people's skin quality, right? And you can see how people's skin plays a role. Now, these are freckles, you guys. So, you know, people are like, what's on our face? It's freckles. You guys can see freckles, freckles. So, but you can see people's skin quality and see if they can be shredded, right? But their face starts to sag, or their skin is really dried out, or they're blotchy. So you have to really, really, I'll go into seasonal allergies, and that has something to do with the gut. I'm almost there, Angie. Hold on, guys. So what you want to do is just kind of monitor. Like I would sit for like a week before really trying keto and go, what does my stool look like? Is it floating? Is there food in it? What color? Is it loose? Is it smooth? Is it hard, chunky balls? Like I said, is it sinking to the bottom if you add fat to your diet? Are you constipated? Now, constipated would be a hard stool or skipping one day. You want to know if you have IBS, which is pooping up to 3 times or higher, right? Especially if you have the urge to go out of nowhere. That could be irritable bowel syndrome. So you might start to have inflammation of your gut, sorry, your intestine, but you don't really know because you're not equating things together. Okay, so these are the things you need to know before you even start talking about what you need to go out and buy besides the food. So we want the cruciferous vegetables. We want to stay away from things like tomatoes, cucumbers. You can do celery, bulb onions. You can do leek or spring onions. Be careful how much you cook them. You want to do, what else? We want to do water, and we want to, you can do teas. Make sure if you've got yeast infections, if you have fungal infections, that's going to look like yeast. It's going to look like nail fungus, toe fungus. Guys get it around their balls. Your butt itches, like your tongue is white. You might have like a certain type of smell to your breath. You get rashes, dandruff, bloated, or constipation if you have a fungal problem. And I know that like half of y'all tick box that stuff and loose stool, right? Let's keep it real. Then you want to go into your sleep issues. So how much screen time do you have? Like, do you breathe? Do you have a straight plumb line? So that's like head, ear, chin, shoulder, hip, down to your knee, you want a very straight plumb line, because if your shoulders are pronated and your upper body sits in a C shape, you might, and you're on a desk all the time, especially if you're a woman with a higher body fat percentage, you might have gallbladder sludge. You also want to check to see if you, and I'll talk about leaky gut. You also want to make sure that the gallbladder symptoms would be bloated, burpy, nauseous, pressure in the stomach. This is when people have let's say they have a gallbladder, they don't even know they have a gallbladder problem until they do high fat, because you need a gallbladder to break down the fat so it can get into the bloodstream and be used and converted as ketones. And so when people start, and you can do keto with no gallbladder, FYI. So when you start feeling this pressure from eating a lot of fat, you might have stones, or the salts might be sludgy like molasses. And a lot of people don't even know they have this until they do keto. So look at all these signs. You should have a chart of symptoms beyond the typical keto flu, which would be tired. You also should have some Celtic or Himalayan salt. So you could do about a half a teaspoon and put it in a glass of water if you start noticing headaches. A lot of you guys are going to dump water very quickly when you first do keto, and you're going to lose a lot of electrolytes in that process, and you're going to just walk around 3 days with a headache, feeling tired, and then go jump off a keto, go, I can't do this. So if you're going to graduate keto over time, you want to do white rice and sweet potato. Now, some people have a histamine response to sweet potato. Most of you don't. If you do, then white rice would be your go-to. I'm going to start changing my meal plans and start to be careful with berries and things. You can do vegetables when you're graduating with higher carbohydrate, like carrots and what else? Carrots, yellow squash, if you don't react to these types of foods. These would be your higher in carbohydrates. You can, if you're graduating, you can do green apples, pears, and some berries, especially raspberries, are really great because they're super low in carbohydrate, but they've got a little fructose in it to get your brain to still be dependent on glucose as you slowly graduate down from about 100 carbs all the way down to 20 net carbs, going to strict bitter vegetables. So that's what you want to do when you first start. You want to get your cruciferous vegetables. Don't eat a lot of mono foods. A lot of people are like, I'm going to eat kale every day. I'm going to eat spinach every day. Now, spinach is great. You're going to need spinach for your potassium. You can use sodium, salt, and your magnesium must be supplemental. You can do a glycinate if you have constipation or any constipation. You could add also citrate and do both, glycinate and citrate. Magnesium is the only supplement that I know is the only one you really must have on a ketogenic protocol. Potassium supplements can be really toxic to the liver, so I prefer it from food, which would be spinach or avocado. Now, if you have leaky gut, the symptoms would be bloated, gassy, itchy, psoriasis, skin issues, acne, tired, PMS, headaches, IBS, where you're like pooping all day long, just feeling like you're not digesting things very well. It could be acid reflux. So a lot of you guys have too low stomach acid, which is another thing you should figure out, like if you're burping when you eat certain foods or burping, or the psoriasis. Yeah, so psoriasis, you want to look for butterfly shape, and around the face with psoriasis, rash. You want to, now keto can really help things like psoriasis, and so that's why people kind of go on keto if they have psoriasis or eczema, because and this is really coming from a weak gut wall. And so if you want to heal the gut wall, you would have to get to bed really, really early, like abnormally early, and take magnesium and do diaphragmatic breathing and meditate, stuff you're not used to doing, and change your workouts and ramp them down, and don't do a bunch of cardio, and don't intermittent fast, and don't overstretch your adrenals. You have to rotate your foods. These are some of the things that you would do if you have leaky gut, which a lot of you have. You eat vegetables, you get bloated. You shouldn't get super bloated or gassy, or skin starts getting red after you eat certain foods. That's not normal, people. No. You shouldn't be constipated. You shouldn't have Hershey squirts coming out your bum. You shouldn't have white tongue and bad breath and gingivitis and smelly vaginas and like smelly like, and a lot of people are eating, they have kidney problems. People have dark circles under their eyes. They're eating too much protein, too many protein shakes. Protein shakes, get rid of them. Eat your food, chew your food, eat your breakfast 30 minutes after waking up, within 30 minutes. If you don't have a scheduling problem to do that, if you have a scheduling problem, then you can do like, I know, you can do a little bit of a small fat load before pre-workout and then eat your breakfast after. You're going to need a glucometer, a dual glucometer that measures ketones and glucose. Yes, you're going to, right now there's a Mojo for Americans. We have Mojo on the market, which is a lot cheaper. It comes with 10 strips. You have to buy your glucose strips separately. You can get glucose strips, 100 in a box. You got to search around. Sometimes you can get it down to $16 for a box of 100. You test your blood sugar fasted in the morning on an empty stomach. You want to look for numbers between 69 and 80 milligrams per deciliter, but with ketones between a 1.8 to a 3.0. I've said this a million times, so watch my videos. If your ketones become higher than a 3.0, often they're not getting into the cell to be used, but you're a good ketone maker. You're just not a ketone uptaker. And so that can happen with leaky gut. So if you see your poop floating, you're not really using ketones because the fat's ending up in the toilet. Thank you, Shelly. Y'all need to wait for the questions. Just hold on. You should probably do comprehensive testing. There's a company called mymedlabs.com, and you can order certain tests. Now, this is a smart company because they found a way for you to take tests without having to go to a GP to then get an examination, then to then order the test. And you can do comprehensive testing to see what's in your urine, to see what's in your stool, parasites, parasites and fungus and giardia and all this weird, really unhealthy bacteria in your colon. So if you have an overgrowth of bad bacteria or parasites, these things can block your keto adaptation. And no one else talks about this on the internet. All they talk about is eating cheese and eating a bunch of protein and intermittent fasting. Like, they don't talk about what your health actually is. They don't say to look at your face in the mirror and see what's going on with the roadmap of what's going on with your gut, right? Around the mouth, that's your gut. Under your eyes is your kidneys. On your forehead, in between the eyes here, are your kidneys and liver. Kidney. Yeah, kidneys. There's more than one, but we say kidney. Well, your kidneys, your two kidneys, and so look at your face. Look at it. Look to see if you've got broken capillaries here around the nose. Look to see if you've got ridges on your nails, right? Because you have deficiencies. A lot of you guys are deficient. A lot of you men are deficient. Caffeine helps you become more deficient because it's a diuretic. So a lot of you people have got leaky gut and have a hard time absorbing your nutrients. Caffeine and diuretics exacerbate the problem. These are the things that you need to check when you start the keto diet. Now, half of you right now are going like, this girl is nuts. That's just too difficult. Oh my God, so unreasonable. If you don't check now, you're going to pay for it later. And a lot of you guys are under 40. So when you're young, you don't care. You think you're invincible. You do. You literally don't care. And I go to the gym 6 days a week. I talk to young people every day. They are freaking clueless. Clueless. But what you guys don't know is that time goes by real fast. So all those weird things like a white tongue and the whites of your eye, the state of your gums, if your gums are receding, you have to know, like, if you did veganism or vegetarianism before, you might have low stomach acid, you might have candida. You guys don't know how we're all walking around racked up, no joke. The vitamin D deficiency and so many women having thyroid problems. So these are the things that I want you guys to consider before you start keto. And then, of course, you have to keep your proteins under 100 and higher than 45 grams per day. If you're a woman, it's really between 45 and about 60 grams of protein. But if you're a big, tall, 6'2" woman, your protein's going to go up to 70, 75 grams of protein per day. And if you're a lifter and if you do a little something, something, the protein's going to go higher. For men, it's typically between 60, right? If you're a male who's small, who doesn't work out, 60, no cacao, unless it's cacao butter, no dark cacao because of the caffeine and mycotoxins. And you want the protein to be around 60 to about 85, 90 max. No joke. But with that, you want your fats to start at 200 grams of fat. 12 tablespoons put you at 167. So that would be like animal fat. It could be lard. It can be tallow. It can be olive oil. Although your dominant fats must be animal fat. And you must rotate everything. You cannot eat mono foods because that's the worst way to drive yourself into the keto flu. So the keto flu would be feeling tired because you're not making enough ketones and your blood sugar is low. Then, are you saying caca? I can't. I just can't. Hold on, people. Somebody's sitting just constantly blowing up my wall, giving me a headache. You don't have to rotate fats as much because if it's pure fats, then there's less oxidation and especially with the animal fat, and bacteria doesn't grow on fat like it does meat and vegetables. So that's really the reason why you want to rotate, so you don't irritate the body from getting too much bacterial overgrowth, because we're not slaughtering our animals, we're not fresh killing them, we're going to the supermarket, there's preservatives, there's bacteria on it, and the vegetables have a lot of phytates. We're eating plants out of season, which is why people do seasonal eating, is to not get an overload of like the oxalates, the phytates, the goitrogens, the blah, 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 the salicylates, the nightshades and whatnot. So let's see here. I think I'm going to take questions now because I think that pretty much explains. You definitely have to use a glucometer, and you can only test ketones in the morning on an empty stomach. You can test blood sugar all day long, but ketones are subjective when you test later because it's coming from ketones made from the food that you ate rather than what your body was producing while you sleep. And you don't do keto in the beginning to lose weight because you actually have to keto adapt, and that's the problem. A lot of people forget you actually have to keto adapt. They're like, adapt. I'm not losing weight. It's so ridiculous. I mean, you have to adapt. And to adapt, you have to deal with your metabolic derangement. You got to go to bed early. You've got to maybe get some blue blockers to block out the blue light from screens and from lamps. Okay. So men lose weight faster than women, Jordan, in some cases. Now, in my case, they don't. But yes, generally speaking, because men have more muscle mass, more activity in the mitochondria of their muscle cell. Would you discourage starting keto while breastfeeding? No. Amber, you can do it, but you just have to, Amber, if you can't moderate and balance everything else out in your life, like go to bed early. I know it's hard when you have a small child, or get your macros on correct, learn how to diaphragmatic breathe, get your stress down, learn how to have a parasympathetic evening, then be careful. Okay, because you test, and how you know, if your breast milk you start to produce less breast milk, you're going to have to go off of keto. So no intermittent fasting, no. So your schedule would be for newbies, right? Once you're fully adapted like myself, the only type of intermittent fasting I suggest is to break the fast by eating a breakfast to pacify the adrenal glands. So there's science behind it. It's not just, I'm not just going poo-poo. So you want to start with a breakfast, and then you can fast in the day, and then you can eat a dinner at night before 6, and don't load. So eat like a king. You might do fat load in the middle of the day, just fat, and then you eat a moderate breakfast in the evening. Okay, let's see here. Questions are coming in fast. If you have gut issues, keto is what you need. Darn right, Richard. Do you have a thyroid issue? You do. Are you saying you have a thyroid issue? I was also on insulin. Oh, longer on it. I've been doing this for 2 years, but have been really stalled for a while. And what? Lori, are you using a glucometer? I don't know your lifestyle. If you're stalling on weight loss, then you're saying you're not using insulin. That means that, are you type 2? Are you type 1 diabetic? No, you're type 2, because if you were type 1, you'd probably be dead. How you diaphragmatic breathe. It's breathing, it's expanding the belly and breathing in through the nose and expanding your belly. I'm not a diaphragmatic breathing expert, but you're breathing in through your nose and you're filling your diaphragm with air and then you're breathing out. And it's supposed to relax the central nervous system to get the stress hormones like cortisol down since we're too cranked up. I will announce when the book is coming out. I have to finish writing it, and you don't announce a book release until the book is done and edited. You like my bike? Yes, the bike is the bomb. It's a hybrid bike. It's like I got a hybrid bike because my knee was starting to, because I broke my ACL, my MCL, my patella tendon, around 82% of the cartilage on the condyles inside of my bone, knee. I have a lot of scar tissue because I've had so many surgeries. And how long has it been? It's been over 20 years since I injured my knee and had all these surgeries. And I'm so active that finally I'm like, my eyes are rolling back in the back of my head with how much my knee hurts from traditional bike riding. So I use the motor pills and then I ride normal on flat ground. Okay, does your poop have to be already, no, your poop shouldn't float, actually. It should sink. If it's floating, that means that you have leaky gut, right? Or you have gallbladder issues and you're not absorbing your fat. That could be problematic, or low HCl. Exercise is essential for adapting. So if you've got like injuries or if you've got adrenal fatigue, then you're going to do baby workout, 12 minutes lightweight, and focus on 3-second negatives. So I've shown this to you guys. Positive motion, negatives when you return the body back to the original position. So if I do a shoulder press and I'm dropping my arm, that would be considered negative. And you would go 1, 2, 3. You can see that my muscle is flexed as I go down. If I go fast, it doesn't flex as much. So you want that mitochondrial response in the muscle cell, even if you have to ramp down your workouts. If you have strenuous exercising on keto is bad because a lot of you guys have adrenal fatigue. So when your blood pressure is high and you have not enough ketone use, then the adrenals will start barfing out adrenaline and you won't adapt. So you have to ramp down your workouts, adapt, and then slowly ramp back up. And then your body becomes more carb tolerant so your carbs can get higher, your protein get higher without popping out of ketosis. Okay, I was wondering what test to have done. I'm going to be 60. Test your free and total testosterone, number 1. 60 at loss, almost 50 pounds. So when people say that they lose weight, I just who knows, do DEXA scan, check to see what the ratio of fat, and because I don't know your body fat percentage. Oh, Lori's 60. Oh, she's 60. Okay, gotcha. You guys are hitting me hard with questions. What spices can you use to cook your beef? Like a million. Like you can do Italian herbs. You can do garlic, salt, pepper, ginger, turmeric. You can do, I would be careful for some of the nightshade peppers for those who've got thyroid or histamine issues. Lemon juice is great. There's plant pectins in the lemon juice that help pull out, unjunkify the liver, as long as you don't have a sensitivity to, if you guys have histamine intolerance, which is the overproduction of histamine from the mast cells. It's kind of like you develop seasonal allergies, food allergies, because you have holes in the gut wall. You don't really need ashwagandha. Was it henna? Henna. I can't see. Wait, it's good to disappear. Henna. You don't really need ashwagandha, and often it doesn't work, and it's a nightshade. So really, to get your stress down, change your life. Change your lifestyle, change your breathing. Don't come home and do a bunch of stuff. Learn how to relax and hibernate as the sun goes down. So you've dropped 35 pounds since December. I feel great. My skin glows, but why does my, number 2 still float? Because your poop is floating because you have leaky gut. So I'm questionable about the weight that you lost, to be honest, and your metabolism. So to me, weight loss is not health, right? You have to make sure you're not losing muscle. That's really, really, really important. Slow time under tension, weightlifting is what Richard says, and he's correct. Okay, got my magnesium glycinate as recommended by Steph. Awesome. And Richard's like, magnesium works, yes. What stevia or sugar alcohol? What about no sugar alcohol stevia? Yes. Yes. Pure stevia? Yes. Why are nightshades bad? Because a lot of women, Hannah, have thyroid problems, and it can block iodine from getting it into the thyroid. And a lot of people who eat like peppers and tomatoes, they don't feel well. It's in all of our food, so we're just used to not feeling well. So a lot of you guys can't do the skin of the tomato and you can't do those nightshades. My daily meals are like I just explained. It's salmon one day. It's sardines. It's like lamb. I had lamb last week near the rib. It's pork belly. It's eggs. It's any fatty meats. It's dark chicken meat. And then I'll have some spinach, or I'll have broccoli another day, or I'll do cabbage noodles by pan frying the cabbage. Like it's, yeah, and a ton of fat. A ton of fat. If I do, Splenda is, yeah, poisonous, yes. If I do like butter, I'll do 6 tablespoons of butter. I'm not kidding. I go ham on the butter. I love lamb too. You're welcome, Dina. Yeah, organ meats are great. You could do chicken livers, or you can do beef liver. Be careful with the beef liver because it's going to have a lot of carbohydrates in it. Yeah, you can fix leaky gut by diaphragmatic breathing, going to bed early, rotating your foods, like staying away from anything that makes you inflamed, tired, exhausted, over exercising. Because the gut, just look at a wound, right? If you have surgery, they don't say go exercise the next day, right? You have to let that wound heal. So if you're exercising too crazy, or drinking alcohol, or doing anything that irritates the body, the gut wall won't heal. It just won't. It'll just stay fracked up for a very long time. Potassium, what is that? Potassium glycinate? No potassium pills. Just get it from food, if that's what I read correctly. Monk fruit is just sugar. Krista, sorry, no. You guys be careful with this sweet addiction. How can you tell the difference between adrenaline dumping into the body versus hunger? Well, when you're having like an adrenaline rush, you kind of cracked out. You talk a lot. It's just like drinking a cup of coffee. You get super hyper, like you were once really tired, and then you're wired. So it's like a wired feeling. That's how you know. When you're hungry, you can't go too long being hungry as a carb person, because you start to go into gluconeogenesis, which is the breakdown of amino acids anywhere in your body. So I keep telling people, don't sit and be hungry all the time, because that's when your body starts eating itself, and that's when the damage of your metabolism starts. Oh, it's almost 7. Okay. How can we tell the difference between, okay, we saw that. But if you're gallbladder issues, how can you consume all the fat? Use ox bile, right? Chew your fats super slowly, or fatty meats very slowly, until it's like liquid in the mouth. And you can use ox bile, betaine, HCl for the short term, and maybe do a gallbladder slush. My sign, off topic. I'm a Virgo. Let's see here. Trainer thinks I should do power lift. My first ever deadlift 2 days ago. 130 pounds. Be careful with trainers. I mean, be careful with me. Go and do your due diligence and make sure that what I'm saying is logical and makes sense. And come on, phone. But powerlifting heavy, no. What you would tell your trainer is to powerlift to learn form right now in the next month, and use a glucometer to see if your blood sugar spikes you guys can use your glucometer to test your blood sugar. You do it about 10 to 30 minutes, when your heart rate's down and you're relaxed, and test your blood sugar. And if it's skyrocketed high, that means that your body went to gluconeogenesis. That's the dumping of the adrenaline and then cortisol release. And then that shows that you're not adapting. You guys, if your blood sugar is high, you can't keto adapt. I don't care if you produce ketones. The body will defer to the blood sugar, and that's not enough stored glycogen to use. Blood sugar from the liver is just not enough. And that's when you start to develop damage. Why is my phone going off? Stop. Fatty tea recipe. I don't know how hard it is. Just put fat into a tea. Like butter. You can put butter and an MCT into a tea. You can use ginger or cinnamon or mint or Pardo Alco if you guys have this Candida thing, which is great taste, or rooibos. That's pronunciation because I went to South Africa and that's where the tea is from. And dump 3-4 tablespoons of fat in it and drink it. It's not quantum physics, guys. It's a fat in a tea. When people ask for recipes, sometimes you can put a little Himalayan salt in if you guys are having a low electrolytes. You're Pisces, so you're in March or something, I think. Fatty tea's easy. Apple cider vinegar can help with low HCl. It doesn't like help you make more HCl. It just helps the digestion of food. So you would take it like 20 minutes before a meal, but really you don't want to rely on apple cider vinegar every time you eat or betaine HCl. You have to learn how to encourage your hydrochloric acids to go back up again through avoiding coffee and avoiding like pharmaceuticals if you can, and getting to sleep. Calories, you don't count calories on keto, you count macros. So 200 grams of fat is the start and higher, and go from there. Keto versus Atkins died before, like basically Atkins is like the carnivore diet, right? Except Atkins allowed you to eat vegetables. Essentially, Dr. Atkins did not die of a heart attack. He died because he slipped and hit his head and got a hematoma, and then he died. But the problem is that he was just learning about ketones back in the day. So no one really needs to do Atkins anymore. Just do like a paleo or a ketogenic diet. Oh, and a woman was complaining when I was talking about the carnivore diet. Carnivore diet. It's so funny because she's like, I got mad at you when I saw your live broadcast because I'm so disappointed. I was like, disappointed on what? Like, I don't understand people. You have to know, where do your meats come from if you're doing a carnivore diet, right? This is not a ketogenic diet. So if you've got kidney issues, you have uric acid problems, you have too much methionine issues, if you've got low stomach acid and you're eating a ton of meat and you're malabsorptive, the numbers are coming back that people are not doing well on the carnivore diet over time. So I do not know why this woman had a freak out moment. That's all I said. People are a trip. Like, if they don't like one little thing you said, they're like, oh my God, I'm not going to follow you anymore. I'm just so disappointed. It's so ridiculous. Birth control pills, get off of them. Super dangerous. 6 shots of espresso. You guys are hitting me with a lot of questions. 6 shots of espresso a day. Yeah, you need to get off of that, because if you're doing 6 shots of espresso, you might give yourself Addison's disease, honey. And a lot of you women are developing it where your body's not even producing any cortisol. You got to take those shots. You blow up. Do not do that, people. Okay, so Mystic, it's a very important question. Do you count total carbs? I count net because I only eat cruciferous. If you're not eating, if you can count total carbs, that would take you to about 40 or 50 total carbs per day max. No sugar alcohols. Sugar is sugar is sugar. That's it. Sugar alcohols, monk fruit, gone. My blood sugar drops to 68 trying to get, oh, you have hypoglycemia. I know your macros are off. You're not sleeping well. Your fats are probably too low. You need to fat load all day long, to be honest, and eat a breakfast if you don't want to have this hypoglycemia. My resting heart rate increased to 80 after keto. You might be eating foods. You might have gallbladder issues. So people's heart rate will increase if they're not digesting the fat. They start pumping fat in. So I would have to talk to you in a consultation to really nail it down. Otherwise, I have no idea. You might have low potassium. That's another thing. Sorry. A lot of people don't eat enough like spinach. Get a couple cups of spinach, like four cups of spinach a day. So it could be benign heart palps from lack of potassium, since you think it's electrolyte problem. The 35 pounds I lost was all fat. Well, we don't know because you didn't do a 10. We can't go by your opinion. I'm just sorry. Like, I don't like when people go like, I do intermittent fasting and I'm great. I'm like, and as soon as I talk to them and I get into the questions, then I'm like, bingo, there's a problem, there's a problem, there's a problem. I'm really sorry, E. Nuwaza. I'm sorry. I can't go, you can't say that it's all fat unless you have, like, you were dunked in water or did a DEXA scan. You can't. I'm sorry. You guys, there's 45 people in the chat, or 43, and only 120. Hello. I'm trying to go fast and get off, and then I start jumbling my words. There's only 143 people in the chat, and there's 128 likes. Can we get our likes up to 140? Can we do it, guys? Can we do it? Can we do it? Self, because you're just talking to a screen. It's like people are asking really serious questions about their health, but I don't see them. I can't feel their vibe, and it's just weird. So I appreciate getting the likes up. Thank you, Mark. Mark said, I'll get that like button up. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, David. You can get a, Ellie, is it? You can get a consultation by going to stephanieperson.com. I think they're almost all booked up, so probably over the weekend or early next week, I'll have all new dates. So you just got to go check the site at stephanieperson.com. I also do a keto course via Facebook. You have to sign up for that on my website. And Richard's in it. Obviously, that's why I know Richard. He's been in it for a while. He can attest to that page, which is really good. I run it like a course page. So if you guys are interested in it's a pay private group, but it's a monthly subscription, and that's when it's really good. I do subjects, I do group discussions, I present information. I'll do like mini live split screen consultations with people. It's $15 a month. You can try it for $15 for the first month and see if you like it. So Monday is I'll post something about, let's say, leaky gut. I'll explain what it is, how to fix it. Then Tuesday is Ask Steph Day, so you can ask me any question up to 2 questions to not overwhelm me. Wednesday is a group discussion, so I'll find like, okay, your stool, the quality of your stool. We'll all discuss our poop. For example, it's all different subjects. Thursday is recipe sharing day, or like share the food that you're eating in a picture. Friday, Saturday are all open discussions, so you can post whatever you want on the wall. And then Sunday I do live broadcasts with a small group, and then I'll do mini consultations with people in the group that want to talk to me live. My kidneys need a detox, probably, I'm not gonna lie. It's kidney and liver. Richard says I have to check it every day, and open discussion days are great ideas. So Richard's in that group, FYI, guys. Okay, detox from vaccinations, what advice? Sasha, to give somebody advice on kidney issues, you need to know more information. You need to know what the pain is. Is it on your right side, which is typical for kidney issues? I don't know how much water you drink per day. I don't know what you're eating. Like, I don't know how much protein you're eating. Like, all these things matter. Trying to get my sleep, but keep waking up at 3 because that's because your cortisol is too high. So it's inverted. It's high at night and probably too low in the morning. So Alma, you're probably breathing wrong. You're probably sitting wrong. You're probably doing too much in the evening, too much screen time, taking showers too late, not diaphragmatic breathing. Your macros are off. You can't deal with stress. And that's why you wake up in the middle of the night. Can't wait for the consultation. Yes, Missy Lynn. June 8th. She got it all scheduled. Oh, it's a birthday present to yourself. That's awesome. We'll have fun, Missy. We're going to have a lot of fun in the consultation. Trust. It's going to be good. Okay, I'm probably going to have chemotherapy soon. Ooh, you have Hodgkin's lymphoma, which keto is really good for lymphoma. I heard that being on keto helps. Yes. Yes, honey. Yes. I don't know if it helps with the side effects. I wish I knew more about you, to be honest. I really wish you were on keto way before you did the chemotherapy, but I can't say anything because I'm not talking to you. I can't even see a real picture of you, so I'm like, I gotta be careful what I say. How much water? 2 liters a day at least. I love veggies, but my stomach always hurts. You have leaky gut, Dina. Girlfriend, you gotta cook your veggies and you must rotate because the plant chemicals can frack up your gut. People don't listen to me. These raw foodists, I'm like, y'all, we're eating plants out of season, guys. Plants have a defense, they have anti-nutrients, and they can make your gut a mess. Join the group, Richard says. I'm confused about kale. Well, kale is actually a pretty toxic vegetable. It's got a lot of nutrients in it, but it also has a lot of anti-nutrients. So people are like eating kale all the time and don't realize the oxalates and goitrogens in kale. So it can literally block certain vitamins and nutrients to get into the body. Kale, and people are doing it raw in a smoothie, like so bad for you, times 1,000. Oh, I'm getting like burnt. Okay, we're at an hour. How much? What? Protein? Persian? What? David? I don't know what you're asking. Sorry. Richard's 49. I'm older than you, Richard. Ha ha ha. Yes, but I often, LaSalle, have people cook. So here's the thing where spinach is an anti-nutrient, but it also has a lot of potassium. So cook it. You cook down the anti-nutrients. Bink, dink. What? If you get out of ketosis, it can be hard. But let's get rid of the word ketosis and let's say fat adapted. If you're fully fat adapted, you can bounce back in after about 3 days. It's okay. It's okay to eat after a long hike if not hungry. What's your glucose? Wait, your glucose, that decimal is in the wrong place. You mean 87.5? I don't, oh, you talk about hiking the miles, my bad. Where should your glucose be after hiking? It should be back to your fasted number. Yep. It should drop right back down. Or you could do a pre-workout test, and then after your workout, it should drop back to the way it was before you worked out. Called it my sleep. I called it, see? Is it Kishel? Good night from Joyzy. All right, good night, Missy. See you on the 8th. Top 7 veggies. They're cruciferous. Broccoli, cauliflower, kale, asparagus, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, and green beans, spinach. You could eat kale, but not a lot. Can I drink butter? Yes, of course, and take 200 grams. Of course. Like if this were, I could, 1 pack of butter or Kerrygold is 223 grams of fat, and I could literally just melt the whole thing and sip on it the whole time. Keishel, okay, thanks. Thank you. You never get enough blood for testing? Oh, yeah. Are you doing red light therapy now? No, it's not on, but I will afterwards. I'm going to eat. I have it on the floor. I haven't like locked this thing on my wall yet. Oh, it's a Juve, by the way. I keep forgetting. So they sent me this. They haven't paid me for it. I'm just doing like a review on it, and I'm super pumped, excited to, do it every day and see what happens, because it's supposed to go penetrate deep, like 2 inches into the body, get into the mitochondria of the cell, and raise, I think it's nitric oxide, to bring more blood flow to the cells to heal. So check out Joovv. It's Joovv. Should you take calcium supplements? You can get calcium from a lot of vegetables, I'm not gonna lie, especially cruciferous. What's your limit recommendation for lime water? Just, I would use like a half a lime or a day. Like just squeeze it a little bit. No, oat bran is not keto. I'm sorry. Sorry, that's not keto. Okay, which sources of soluble fiber? Cruciferous, I think, are soluble. Yes. Or the insoluble. No, solubles, I think it's like flax or slippery elm, something like that. Is decaf black tea? No, because they use a chemical called benzoyl chloride, I believe, which is really toxic. So I mean, just don't drink decaf. Just, find herbal teas. Call it a day. Gallbladder issues, pain on the right side. Try oxbile. Oh, you guys are hitting me hard with questions. Can't consume enough fiber to offset carb reaction. Yeah, no, good point. Yeah, no. You can't eat a bunch of fiber. It's not gonna like, oh, I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna have some celery dipped in like, something that has sugar. It's not going to offset it, like Richard said. or like the protein in bacon. If there's sugar in bacon and there's only like 2 grams of sugar per strip or something, the protein will not offset it. It just counts, period. Blueberries are not ketotic, so no. Chia seeds are not ketotic because a lot of people react. Their blood sugar gets weird on chia seeds for some reason. La la la. Should I take my magnesium at night? Yeah, you could take it either at night and in the morning. Some people split it up and take it in the night and morning. Citrus cravings, don't know why. You know, maybe you're having some type of vitamin C or some type of antioxidant deficiency. Zero fruits with keto. Always? No. Olives are fruits. Tomatoes are fruits if you don't have a nightshade issue. Coconuts are fruits. Avocados are fruits. Come on, people. There's a lot of fruits. I have one big meal at lunch. No, don't do that. Don't do that. No. And 109 grams of fat's too low. If you're having, yeah, your fats have to be 200. If you're eating one the huge meal, your stomach is choking on trying to digest that in one meal. I know people like Peter Attia, he's really talking about eating one meal a day. But with the people that I've coached with hypoglycemia and energy crisis issues, or they're constantly catabolic, it's a big no. Do women have to carb up? No, that's a lie. Don't listen to any man say that. I'm a woman. I've done this 10 years. The reason why people carb up is they're worried about the thyroid. And as you can see, this is me being ketotic, right? This is me, this diffuse lighting. This is me on keto for 10 years as a woman who's middle-aged. I'm almost 51. And because I've done it the right way, I don't have to carb up. If you carb up, that's not a ketogenic diet. That's just to mess with your metabolism and make you inflexible and create eating disorders. Let's see. How do you feel about high protein? That's not keto. If you eat too much protein, and Richard knows this, if you eat too much protein, you don't produce enough ketones, and your blood sugar spikes real high. Nope. That's not ketotic. So do that as another diet. That's not keto though. High protein is not keto. You can read on message boards that it is, but they don't know what they're talking about. Straight up. They don't work with people. They haven't tested. They don't use glucometers. They just do it because people are so afraid of fat that they put the protein high because they want to lose weight. They don't do an insulin test. They don't check their A1C. They don't test their glucose. People are like, I lost this much weight on a scale. They probably lost a lot of water and muscle. And that's why there's so much subjectivity on the internet. Wait, hold on. Yeah, of course it's okay to eat a block of butter as long as you don't have any gallbladder issue. No, Dr. Berg is not legit. He's not legit. He's not legit at all. He is full of BS. He's not legit. I think he's a lovely man, but he is not legit. Shelly, he's not. You got fooled, bamboozled, tricked. He doesn't understand the ratios. He does not understand the diet. He doesn't understand ketones. He sits with his shirt buttoned up to here, and he's my age. He's not ketotic himself, but he's a really, really great and smart businessman. That's what he is. And I think that this guy, Eric Berg, he could be, and this is not an attack on his person. Like, I don't know him as a person, but I know what he touts as keto is not. And I can go face to face with him in a debate. Yeah, Shelly, he really preys on women. This is a man, a middle-aged man, he's talking to women who are desperate. He's talking about the adrenal body and all this ridiculousness. Now, some of the things he says has merit. Some. But once you start talking about keto and trying to sell like ox bile salts and sell this and sell that, look at people's websites. If they're selling a bunch of supplements, question things, okay? And I don't blame anybody for wanting to make $1, but like, just don't lie to people. That's all I'm saying. Don't lie. Don't talk about something you do not know. I got all black on you guys. Okay. Yeah, thyroidectomy from thyroid cancer. Yeah, of course. Yes, I have women and people with no thyroid. You just got to be really, really smart when you're probably taking some type of thyroxine or Armour or, Synthroid or something. You just got to be very, very careful with rotating and cooking your cruciferous and making sure your gut's really healthy and get sleep well. Okay, wait, I was thinking about I don't know who that is. Okay, sorry, Angie. I don't know who Dr. Barry is. Oh, so he's not your first go-to. Okay. Can women benefit from intermittent fasting? No. They develop thyroid disorders. No. Adrenal insufficiency. Women are the worst with intermittent fasting. Why would anybody want to intermittent fast? It's just to lose weight. So it's a starvation diet. That's all it is. This whole growth hormone release. If you intermittent fast, then do nothing. Because that's what our hunter-gatherers did. They rested when they didn't eat. We don't rest. So don't intermittent fast or you're going to damage yourself beyond repair. Oh, you guys are coming fast with questions. Ramadan. Oh, I need to do a Ramadan video. Going to. Somebody highlighted in orange. So what percentage of fat is true keto? 200 to start with. 2 to 300. Eating just 8 hours a day, then not eating 16. No, don't do this. Just don't. If you guys have adrenal insufficiencies, if you have poor sleep, if you have adrenal fatigue, high cortisol, if you have high insulin, high blood sugar, hypoglycemia, do not fast. Do not fast. High blood pressure, no. Dr. Barry is another. These are people that come around lately. I've done this thing for 10 years. The problem, listen, you guys. The problem with these doctors is that they read other studies. They are anecdotal. It's theoretical. So they know that your red blood cells need glucose. But that's what we have gluconeogenesis for, and that is enough blood sugar to feed the red blood cells. Women do keto and they develop thyroid problems. And so he goes, look at all these women who've got thyroid problems on keto. So keto is bad for you. Refeed back on carbs. None of this has been studied over time. Studies on keto are short term. So I'm the perfect subject because I've done it for 10 years. I have not refed on apples. I haven't had any monk fruit. I haven't had any caffeine or alcohol. Nothing in 10 years at all. And so he would have to go and examine my health and go, okay, well, here's a woman who's actually done it. I've tried all different kinds of fats, all different kinds of meats, all different kinds of everything to come to my conclusions. Plus, I've worked with thousands of people. But he hasn't done that. So he's just guessing. You see what I'm saying? He is guessing. And that's the problem with a lot of doctors. Mic drop. A lot of these doctors guess. They'll read a study that's been done 30 days. Well, in 30 days, you're not even adapting in 30 days. Because Steve Finney and Jeff Bullock said that you can make ketones in 2 weeks. No, it doesn't work like that. They're unviable. So if you continue to have unviable ketones up to a year, it can start damaging your body, lower your testosterone, make you estrogen dominant. It can mess with your LDL small particle size. It can mess with your thyroid, adrenal insufficiency if you never adapt. But 99% of people do keto the wrong way. 99%, and I back it up. I can debate anyone on that subject. If they do it wrong, they're not adapting. You can have a fatty tea for breakfast? No. You don't have it as breakfast. You can have it as a pre-workout if you don't have time to eat a breakfast. We watch the replay on how to make a fatty tea. You work out minimum 3 days a week. So I love to work out, so I do it 6 days a week. Okay, you guys, it is an hour and 18 minutes. I said to myself 30 minutes, and I'm going an hour over what I said I was going to do. I'm not going to debate anyone, Sean, but if I have to, like when I was on the panel at PaleoFX, I did it then, right? They were talking about how much protein should a woman consume who's an athlete, and then you have two men telling the audience what a woman should do on keto with her protein. And I said, all right, you guys, okay, I'm a woman. Okay, so I'm the demographic that you men are talking about. And I dropped my protein and gained 15 pounds. And it was like crickets. It was like, oh, no one could argue that. Nobody. No. But I don't want to debate anyone. But if I'm in that situation, I will. Yeah, short-term studies don't do nothing for keto. Thank you. Keep doing what I'm doing. And please, nobody write on this video. She's all over the place. If you guys saw from my end, the explosion of questions. You can't be linear. You're going to dart around. Yes, if you have too much protein, like your body can only eat, chew, digest, and use a certain amount of protein. People keep, like the stomach has to empty into the small intestine, but you keep forcing protein down and forcing drinks down. So the body's like, I'm just going to convert this back into sugar. And that's what happens. She's just all over the place, just joking. I hope you're just joking or just kidding. Okay, the best. Okay, thank you, Tony. If Dr. Bird took his shirt off, he would be ripped as you give him some credit. You're not you lying, right? If Dr. Berg took off his shirt, oh, if he was shredded, natty, heck yeah. I'll be like, Hercules, honey. Hercules, baby child. You shredded. Yeah, if he was full natty, absolutely. If he wasn't on any HRTs, which a lot of men do when they get in their 50s, or on like testosterone and GH, yeah, if they weren't on all that kind of stuff, yeah, I would be like, good job. Vegetarian keto is possible, yes. You asked Jimmy that question. You know, I just won't talk smack about Jimmy because Jimmy, he's done some good for me. So, you know, all them questions about Jimmy, ask him. Everybody drinks two liters unless you're a heavy sweater. Egg whites are really bad for you because the white of the egg is to protect the yolk where the fetus is going to grow. So a lot of you guys develop egg allergy issue. If you check out Dave Asbury's story on how he ate a lot of eggs and developed an egg allergy, you have to be really careful for those whites. And cholesterol is so good for you. The yolk of an egg, butter, it's a precursor to your sex hormones. It's not the cholesterol the problem, it's the LDL small particle B's, the LDL small particle. No cheat meals on keto. My book's coming out when I'm done writing it, which I'm not done. And can we give you an example of vegetarian keto meal? You'd have to eat eggs, salmon, butter, a lot. Okay, whites have 4 protein. Yeah, the whites have 4 and the yolk has 2. So you can still have issues with the 2, but there's just a lot less protein in the yolk. Oh, you want to do virgin coconut oil. Do you have clients with tinnitus? Oh, yeah. In the ear? Oh, yeah. That's high cortisol right there. No tofu. Tofu's bad. It's a phytoestrogen like loaded with phytates. I wouldn't eat a lot of egg whites if you have any cancer, to be honest. You want to give your immune system a chance. Some people can eat whites, but if you vertigo and tinnitus are very similar. You guys have too high cortisol, you're not sleeping well, and the body just collapses and starts developing these hiccups. Keto for Parkinson's. There's a guy at my gym who has Parkinson's, and I try to influence him, and he's just not listening. But yeah, Parkinson's. Oh, I can't explain how well keto would be. Do I drink kefir? I don't. And I really want people to be careful on fermented foods if they have a dysbiosis of the gut. Work your way slowly into those things like kefir, especially no milk kefir. Magnesium malate. You could do malate or glycinate. I prefer glycinate to malate. It seems to be more absorbable. You can eat whole eggs, but just don't pound the whites down, guys. And don't overeat eggs, especially if you're a vegan or vegetarian. Yes, as far as I know, Jeffrey, that keto is fine with high fat with a heart stent. How many milligrams of magnesium? You could do 300 in the morning, 300 in the evening, or just 300 in the evening. You bought hemp hearts. Some people have an allergic reaction to it. Just make sure you do well on hemp hearts. Otherwise, it's keto approved. I'm all over the place with keto, even bought keto powder that you just got scammed. No kimchi. No, too many carbs. Your hair is thinning. It's thyroid or low iron. Okay, guys. It's an hour and a half. If there's anybody left who has not liked up the stream, do so. And that, as you see, I'm doing more broadcasts when people are showing me. I was trying to go to bed earlier based on the recommendations. It's almost my bedtime. Oh, good. Peace. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Good night, you guys. You're in Cape Cod. Cool. Thank you, Ladi and Nicola and Tony and Erica and Richard. Some of the yes, I do consultations. StephaniePerson.com. You guys can also go to my Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic, and go to my stories, or Stephanie the Business Person on my Facebook fan page, where it's all free content, or you can join my Facebook group where I actually do a keto course on that Facebook group. Keto, your mom needs keto, try to influencers. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. You're the best. Thank you. Okay, guys. Oh, we got 203 likes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, guys. Awesome. Richard's like, do the group. Richard's in the group. And Richard, actually, his wife came to me first. And then his wife got Richard in. And Richard was like, so, Richard, you're hilarious. So when I first did a consultation with Richard, he was like, yeah, whatever. He was like, he was so resistant. And now Richard has lost, I shouldn't talk about weight loss, but he's doing really well. Yeah, it's a keto course group you have to sign up on my website, which is stephanieperson.com. Yes, it's a keto course group through my website, and then once you subscribe to it, then I let you on the page. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Candex for Candida. Is that for Candida? No, I don't. I don't know enough about it. Type 2 diabetes, gone. Like, you guys don't know, Richard is like hilarious, because when I had a consultation with him, he's like, I don't like to go to bed early. I like to be on video games. Blah, 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 blah. Like, he was like he's like, I'm stubborn. And now he's like, he's my rock star. Yes. And it's all because of his wife. So it's Richard's my rock star. Keto can work for graveyard shift workers, but you really have to balance the time when you're not working. So there's a whole protocol that you can do that I talk about on the course page for third shift night workers. You call me sweetheart? Child, listen to you. Oh, you're trying to ask questions when I'm trying to get off. Oh my goodness. Low blood pressure, water and salt, straight up. Yep. Not licorice. Be careful with licorice too. Make sure it's DGL, by the way. You can screw up your kidneys. Alright. Toby's his wife. Yeah, she's super awesome too. Both of them are awesome. But like Richard's like on it. He's like, boom! Richard's like, mic drop. Okay, guys. Questions. Yeah, Tony, I'm trying to get out. High blood pressure, keto safe. Yeah, or high blood pressure, of course. Your blood pressure is coming from bad sleep, stress, and the carbs that you were eating before. If you can regulate, if you do keto the right way, and you can drop your insulin and change your workouts and change your stress and change your sleep, and all this, connect to the circadian rhythm. Protein for women is between 45 to 60 grams of protein, depending on how active you are, and it depends. Let me get off this stool. My leg is falling asleep right here. So this is it, you guys. This is the business. At the age of 50, soon turning 51, boom, full natty. People are like, oh, you're not natural. I'm like, trust me, I would be dry, I would be vascular, my legs would be 10 times bigger. So what's up, guys? Thank you for joining the broadcast. Yeah! Young forever, not going to age. Thank you, guys. Silly, fun, enjoying life. And I need to go do a skateboard video sometime because I used to be a pro skateboarder. Bye, guys. Thank you, Tony. Thanks. Yup. Okay, I'm out. I need to shut up because I have like separation anxiety from you guys. It's so silly. Oh, thank you, Jordan and Kishelle. What music? I'll do it on the live broadcast. So I'll tell you what I listen to later. I'll play. No, I can't play the music. That's right. YouTube will block it. You can reverse damage, a lot of damage. No keto powders, they're garbage and a waste of money and like burning a hole through your stomach. Sorry to be blunt. I'm not trying to be rude to anyone. I don't like to actually talk about people in my broadcast. I don't want to talk about Dr. Berg or whatever he is. I wish people would stop asking me about him because I'm just too honest. That's my problem. I have like honesty Tourette's. And it's very hard for me to be PC. And I just need to just like, don't ask me how other people ask them. Thank you guys. Chat, let's, oh, turn on the chat thing, so let's donate. Oh, I see other people doing that on YouTube. Oh, that feels so thirsty. I don't even monetize my videos. Distilled water, be careful with it. Like, it's mineral deficient. You can start getting headaches from it, so. Filtered, and you can mix it with filtered and distilled. Don't just do pure distilled. Okay, guys, thank you. There's 212 thumb likes and 101 in the chat, so you guys crushed it on the likes. Thank you so much for joining the broadcast, and look out for more. Maybe I'll do an announcement when I'm, because I think YouTube will, notators. I think YouTube allows you to do announcements now. You watched, I watched you and Thomas DeLauer. I watched a little bit of what he says. He's a smart guy. Just be careful, y'all. Just be careful. All right, bye. I'm out. Peace. Deuces. I want to start writing my book tonight. Yeah, you can watch this later. Bye, guys. Bye, Jordan. Okay, I'm out. I'm really out this time. I promise. I'm out.